Hi Paul, so this is just a quick tutorial video on how to access the FBA website and how to make some simple changes. The first thing to say is I've sent you an email with a username and a password. So if you open the email, click the link, pop in the username in capitals and the password, and then just click sign me in. That will then bring you to this screen here. You can basically ignore everything on here. You just want to click on where it says websites. You'll then see a little thumbnail of the website. Under that, you need to click on Edit Website. That will then load up Bramble, which is the system that I've used to build the website. And depending on your connection speed, it can take up to sort of 60 seconds to load. And it will basically load the home page. So there's a few things to mention before we get started. The first thing is you can make changes to this and have a look around and not do any damage, because you can basically not publish the changes. So you're able to log in, have a look, and just don't publish the changes and you'll do no damage. That's the first thing to mention. The other thing is there's quite a few things that we're going to cover on this video. There's other videos and things I can help you with, but you may need to watch this video a couple of times for everything to make sense. So as mentioned, Bramble will load the home page. You're going to see lots of strange symbols with crosses through them. Ignore that. That's different elements of the site which are turned off and on for tablets and phones. So just ignore that. You can basically scroll down to each section. When you click it, it highlights a green box, which means that you can edit that particular area. So much like a Word document, you can paste new text in, or you can add new text to the end, or you can go through changing words. Across on the right-hand side, you have things like bold, italics, and font sizes. I wouldn't change the font sizes too much, just because they've been optimized for all devices. So if you make the fonts bigger, they might look great on a computer, but then on a tablet or a mobile, then it may not work. So at the moment, you can obviously make things bold or italic or underline, but in terms of the font sizes, I wouldn't play with that too much. And then basically every element that you come to is the same thing. You click it, and basically then you're able to access it. So for example, if you want to change the address in the footer, you could highlight that, change that. If you want to change the secretary's name, you could highlight that, change that. So pretty straightforward in terms of the homepage. There's not too much to edit on here. If we made some changes we didn't want to, so let's just say we've put some information in here. There's two things you can do. You have at the top here an undo button, which you can click and it will put it back to how it was. If you've made a big error, you've deleted a whole section, you're not quite sure what you've done, you're a bit confused, basically don't hit the publish button at the top. Just exit and leave, and then that way you've done no damage to the site, and when you go back, everything is as it was. So yeah, that's just a quick tip. If you're not sure what you've done, don't publish the changes and you'll be fine. So that's the home page, fairly straightforward. Other little things to cover briefly. Obviously the constitution has changed recently. If you wanted to change that again, if you click where it says here, that will bring up this box here, and then you could then put a new PDF file. So you could do select a new file, and you drag and drop your new PDF file into this area here. With PDF files, they can't be really long names and they can't have loads of spaces in, or it will just reject the file. So I'll just quickly show you under the My Files here. If you look at the recent files we uploaded, you can see the file name there has been FBA-constitution-October23.pdf. So that's a good file name to use. And that's a good tip. If you upload the PDF and you think, hang on, that's not worked, what you can do is you can come back and do a double check by clicking where it says here, clicking select the file. If it isn't working, then you can access all the files that you have uploaded in the My Files section here. So if it didn't work first time, you can go and find your file, hover over it, it will give you the file name. You think that's the file I meant, click it, hit save, and then publish the page again. I'm not going to do that, but then you hit publish. You may sometimes with PDFs need to do it a couple of times for it to work. And to test it, you'd go back to the website, refresh the page a couple of times, it will catch up, and then the new constitution would be there. So that's a sort of simple tip of how to access the home page, how to change the constitution if you needed to do that. Up in the top here in the menu, you've got every single page on the website, which there is quite a few now. They're labelled fairly clearly, so everything that's FBA related, so if it's members pages, or if it's the committee meeting, the committee details, or the constitution, that's an old page actually, you probably won't want to amend that. Or for example, the meetings, the minutes from all the meetings, so they're all stacked up like that. When you come to this page, there's a simple tip. If there's any that you decide you don't want anymore, for example, you think maybe that's gone back a bit, it's too old, Over on the left hand side, if you hover over, you see you've got a remove, so you could take that meeting out. I will just undo that obviously, and I won't publish that, but you could take the meetings out if you decide the old ones no longer need to be on there. If you wanted to add a new one, the best way to do that would be to come up to the top, because obviously they're in the order of the newest ones at the top. Over on the left you have duplicate, so click duplicate, type in the name of whatever it was, a bi-monthly meeting or a committee meeting or whatever that was, type in the date of whatever it is, and then you click here is where you upload a PDF. So if you click here, on the right hand side you have edit the link, and then basically you'd select or upload the file, and same as before, if you'd find your PDF on your desktop, drag it and drop, let go, drop it on there. When it's uploaded successfully, you come back to this screen, hit save, and up the top here, hit publish. That would then publish that new section. And again, if you then think, actually that hasn't worked for some reason, that's not worked, you can come back, go to the click here button, go to the edit link, go to select or upload, go across to the files that you know are all uploaded already, and then just click the actual file again and check it again. Because a couple of times with PDFs, they don't always work first time, so that's just a tip. If it hasn't, go back and follow those steps. And again, on the left hand side, we won't want that, so we can remove. And again, we don't want to do any damage to this page, so I'm just going to not publish it, and that's done no damage at all. So that's the very kind of basics of navigating your way around, how that looks. There's probably things like members pages you may want to create. I'm probably going to cover that in another video, to be honest with you, because it involves duplicating a previous members page, populating all the data, giving it a name, and putting it in the menu. So for now, I think it gives you access to the site, access to make changes. I will just quickly show you another page. So for example, the committee's changed a bit, so you could go into that page and make some changes to that. So again, we'll just let Bramble load. It starts with the home page as before. So if we find the FBA committee, so they're all labeled FBA, the committee page, you could go in here and make changes to that. So if there's people's names changes, you can do that. Yeah, make some simple changes that you want to within there. Yeah, fairly straightforward to make simple things within that. There's a lot of things you may need some help with and guidance with to do initially. So the best tip is have a look, have a play around. If you get stuck, just let me know. There's lots of things with Bramble that you can learn, so I think it's very difficult for me to cover everything in one video, but hopefully this gives you the basics of what you need. The other page I guess you may want to change would be the FBA news page. So let's have a look. So the FBA news page at the moment looks like this. So again, if you had a new news item you wanted to put on, you could come across to the left and duplicate, type in the new title, type in the new information. If you decided that item doesn't need a photo or a logo, you can just delete the image from that. If you then decide this information is now out of date, you could obviously remove that. So yeah, a lot of it is duplicating what's already there and using the tools available to you to basically duplicate an item, type the new information, then publish. And again, I can do the undo button if I didn't want to make those changes, or I can just leave and do no damage. So yeah, hopefully initially this is going to get you access to the site. You can now make changes, simple sort of text changes initially. If there's anything else that you do want to go over, then just let me know, and thanks for watching.